Hello and welcome to Coffee with Dr. Carla. I'm Dr. Carla. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. And my goal today is to talk about some mental health related issues and then hopefully end the stigma around them. So I thought today I would talk about finding the right therapist. And this is a big deal. So first of all, so many people are in a position where they know they need someone to talk to, they know they need some professional help, and the stigma that surrounds going to therapy is very strong. Maybe it's a family thing, a cultural thing, maybe it's just personal, but at the end of the day, it's really scary to think about, I'm going to go find this person and, share my deepest, darkest secrets with them. And then you finally get up the courage to do that, and now you got to wade through all of the rigmarole to hopefully find somebody. Even before you meet the person for the first time, you've got to figure out where do I even start to look. So maybe you go online and you start Googling it, or you go to Psychology Today, or if you're bold enough, maybe you ask a friend, I know you go to therapy, who do you see? And you start to get some recommendations and whatnot. And now you got to navigate through all of that. And then you have to figure out if they take your insurance. So, you can also ask your insurance, like customer service place, and they'll give you a list of people. I know the last time I did that, half the names on the list were no longer practicing. So the list isn't always up to date. But so once you get through all of that, and then you finally get in and you finally meet this therapist. And in the first visit, the intake visit, it really should be about history taking. Therapists figuring out what's going on? Why are you there? What have you tried? It should not be about doing therapy. It should just be about gathering information. And so while the therapist has got a job of gathering that information, you also have a job. There should be a point at which you can ask some questions, right? A lot of therapists will give a 15-minute consultation to clients, to potential clients, so that they can ask questions. And it's important that you do, right? There are things that make you tick, and there's things that irritate your soul. And so if you end up with somebody who does things that irritate your soul, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So it's so important to keep in mind that this is about you and how you work and how what's going to make the most sense for you. I have been hearing a lot of commercials for various online therapy sites. For a monthly fee, you could access a therapist, and they're going to have you answer a couple questions, and they'll match you with the person who's going to best be able to meet your need, which is great. And then they throw in this line that just kills me. And you can even change without additional costs. That's true throughout all of therapy. So it bugs me because they make it sound like if you tried to change your therapist in any other space, that you would be charged money. Maybe there's another online space that does that, but the reality of it is you're in charge. If you don't like the way your therapist does something, or you guys just don't click, it's not a good fit, then you change. Simple as that. So no place should be charging you to switch, because that doesn't even make sense. So I think those commercials are misleading. And I'm sure they're doing it to try to pull you in. Maybe you've had bad luck, with a therapist before. Who knows? But also people start to, we notice here when people call, Eva will ask, what's bringing you in? And people will share, I'm just looking for a new therapist. I no longer want to see my other therapist. And through some small talk, we find out that they've been wanting to do this for 2, 3, 5 years. It hasn't been a good fit. And I'll tell you that, okay, after one visit, you might really know it's not a good fit. But typically after 3 or 4 visits, you'll know whether or not it's a good fit, right? That first visit is just about history taken, so maybe it's weird. But after that, you should be able to tell whether or not their style matches your style. Now, that's different than they're asking questions that are hard and, maybe you're uncomfortable. That's a different thing than a good fit. You want somebody who's going to listen to you. You want somebody who's going to, validate the feelings that you're having, right? But you also want somebody who will challenge you a little bit, because if you're not being challenged, it's going to be hard to grow. I know that for myself personally, over the years, I found that often my insurance dictated the pool of therapists I could choose from. Unfortunately, when I had HMOs, my choices were very limited. When I had a PPO, it was more open. That's not always the case. It just happened to be the case for me. I also know that as a therapist, and then even prior to this when I was in the education world, in the world of special education, a lot of the therapists wanted to talk shop with me, and I didn't need someone to talk shop with me. I needed someone to help me sort out some things that were going on in my life. The other thing that they wanted to do was fix the people in my life that were, quote, problematic. And I didn't need them to fix those people either. I needed them to help me change how I responded to those people. So that was hard. And then I had a handful of people who were very direct and said, well, you're doing this wrong. You don't know how to do this. And which is interesting, especially when we're talking about things that I'm feeling and whatnot, and I'm being told it's wrong. It's frustrating. It's overwhelming. And I have to say, I have gone through so many different therapists. But the key point is that I tried. I stuck around for a handful of times to make sure that I wasn't just being reactive. And then, based on that, I did let each and every one of them know, this isn't a good fit for me. And, I thank you for your time, but I'm going to seek out help from someplace else. I think it's really important to our own personal growth to be able to advocate for ourselves. And by letting that therapist that's not a good fit know, that's a way for us to start. I'm happy to say that I did land on an awesome therapist. We get along very well. And as I found more and more therapists that did not work, I started to realize more and more what I really wanted in a therapist. And so I finally was able to find that person. And for right now, at this stage of my life, we're a good fit. So I hope that you keep persevering and pushing through so that you too can find the right fit. And if you found the right fit, thank God. Thank God that you pushed through. If you haven't found one yet, keep doing it. There's someone out there. Trust me, there really is. So remember, you can change your thoughts, discover your potential, and transform your life by focusing on your overall well-being. So until next time, continue working on being the best you possible. Bye.